Hey everyone, this is WiNGSPANTT, and I'm back. I just want to get right back into talking about the skills. We were just talking about how Smoke Bomb is probably the best skill in the game. It's even buffed up from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, even though it's already the best skill. I feel like the time it takes for it to start is a little nerfed from Brotherhood, but it's hard to tell the way they changed the lag, the way they changed the interaction between kills and stuns and things like that. So it's probably not. It's probably exactly the same, except now it's better. Charge is still a great skill because just like Smoke Bomb, it can be used offensively and defensively. Defensively, you can use it to stun your pursuers. All right, just like Smoke Bomb, there is like a second or so delay before, startup time before it can actually work. Okay, and offensively, not only can be used to kill people, okay, but it also, you run into the group, and if you don't know who your target is, there's like 10 personas that look exactly the same. It'll automatically kill whoever the correct person is. Now, throwing knives, I was just saying they're bad. Throwing knives do cancel out charge, but if you're equipping throwing knives just to cancel out charge, if your reaction speed is actually that good, you probably didn't need throwing knives to start with. Charge is also, people don't tend to use it this way. You can use charge as a speed boost. They took sprint out of the game because it was terrible. But if you have the artifact or something like that, or you need to get to an area really fast, get out of an area, get into an area, although it's very unorthodox and weird, charge does make you run very fast. So just keep that in mind. Mute, great skill. It's a very hard skill to use because the cooldown is so long and duration is so short. So the cooldown default is 1.5 minutes. The duration is also 1.5, but it's 1.5 seconds, not minutes. So use it. All the enemies around you cannot kill or stun or use abilities for 1.5 seconds, and that can be huge. That can absolutely put someone in a terrible position. But you have 1.5 seconds to capitalize on it, and if you don't, you fail. It's great for escort, it's great for manhunt, it's great for team games because you can protect your teammates with it in addition to using offensively and defensively for yourself. So just keep that in mind. You can also, if you think something bad is going to happen, you can always pop the mute. And unlike Smoke Bomb, mute works 3-dimensionally. So if someone's above you and you think they're about to try to roof drop onto you, if you use mute, they won't be able to kill you. If you're above someone and you want to make sure that they don't use a decoy or something like that, you can use mute and then drop on them and get the kill. Poison, great skill, alright? Huge cooldown, 200 bonus points, but essentially your character performs a very stealthy kill. They just slip some poison into the enemy's pocket. I don't know, the animation doesn't make any sense. But you slip some poison into your enemy's pocket, then after 6.5 seconds they drop dead. Now there's 3 things with poison here: the long cooldown, the long delay, and the score bonus. Some people are trying to decide, oh well, if I craft this skill, should I add a larger score bonus? In my opinion, I think you should cut down the cooldown because the score bonus 200 points, plus you can typically get variety bonuses very easily with poison, alright? But, on the other hand, if you decrease the cooldown, you can get that 200 point bonus on a more frequent basis. So if you drop the cooldown down to like 75 seconds, how many times do you really get to use it? If you can only use the skill every 1.5 minutes in like a 10-minute game or a 9-minute game, there's a limited number of times that you can use. You're only going to maybe use this skill 6 times max, right? But if you bring down the cooldown to 75 seconds, right, maybe you can use the skill an extra 2-3 times. It's a very close trade-off, so it's just something to think about. But poison is a great skill. It's just not an all-purpose skill. It obviously has no defensive applications. If your enemies are all roof runners, or they're all running away from you, or they're all very good at keeping you at bay for whatever reason, then you're going to have trouble administering poison. Poison works great with Smoke Bomb because you can stop someone from moving and then poison them. Same thing with Tripwire. You can use Tripwire. Once they've run the Tripwire, walk up to them, poison them. Teleport. This is a new skill, alright? So basically what it does is, it does exactly what it says it does. You hack the Animus, and you teleport away to a random location 35 meters away. It has a huge cooldown. It has a long activation time, and this is the thing, teleport is not instant. Once you start teleport, you cannot move. Your character stands there, it does a beam me up Scotty kind of animation, and then your character gets randomly teleported. So, I'm not sure what I think about the skill yet. I'm thinking it might be good for Artifact Assault, or Steal the Artifact rather, because whichever one is the free-for-all game mode. because you can get the artifact, you can kind of hide. Once you feel like people are getting close to you, teleport away. The same thing with Contaminate, alright? So if you're in Contaminate, you're the last person alive, everyone is gunning for you. Maybe you go stand on top of some roof somewhere where you can see where they are, alright? And then you're getting points, you're staying alive, you see everyone's converging on you, teleport. And they have no clue where you're going to teleport to, but it's not going to be anywhere where they can get you. Closure. Okay, so Closure triggers all chase breakers around you. I haven't bought this skill yet, so I don't know what the cooldown time is. Or, you know, okay, whatever. Just fuck it. I'll just buy it right now so I can talk about it like not like an idiot. Okay. Now, you guys made me waste my points. I was going to spend it on a really, really cool taunt, but whatever. Closure. Okay, Closure. 50-second cooldown, so very short. Range 25 meters. So everything within 25 meters, and for you Americans, which I guess is most of you, you know, that's approximately 80 feet. All chase breakers closed. So this can be really huge. If someone's running away from you, you can trigger all chase breakers, and now they can't use any chase breakers to get away. And you might think, oh, well, that's useless because if I'm in a chase, I'm not going to get any points anyway. All right? It's not necessarily true. You can start walking towards someone. Maybe you see them start walking towards a chase breaker, and you know they're just going to try to trigger it as soon as they're right on top of it. Eliminate that option, then eliminate their fucking heartbeat. I haven't used this skill, obviously, since I just bought it, so I don't know how effective it is, but with the cooldown boost, you could probably bring this down to, like, being able to use it every 30 seconds. It's a big deal. You can also use it defensively in a way, like, obviously once you go through chase breaker, it triggers, other people can't use it, right? But you know, chase breakers tend to be very clumped together. Like, there tends to be the doors at the same place as there are the lifts. So if you go through chase breaker, you can use it to make sure that no one uses the chase breakers that are near that chase breaker. Or you can trigger the chase breaker, hide on one side, and then, you know, some people wait out the chase breaker. They wait for the 5 seconds and then run through it. You could wait there, let them walk through it, right? And then trigger the chase breaker and then trap them between the double doors, and essentially you know, there you go, they're trapped. They're like a mouse in a cage, and despite all their rage, they're still just a rat in a cage. I do know the lyrics, okay? Templar Vision, we all know what this skill did from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. You use it, you light up like a Christmas tree, like the 4th of July, your big white glowing ball. You've achieved Super Saiyan level 10, 11, 12, 14, Dragon X, okay? And everyone around you, you can tell if they're an NPC, or they're your target, or they're a pursuer. So that's what Templar Vision does. I don't really like the skill overall, but, you know, I generally favor the free-for-all modes. In multiplayer modes or in team games like Manhunt, it's good because one person can use it, spot all the opponents, and kind of relay that information to the rest of the team. Whereas in Wanted, if you're going to use a skill slot just for yourself, it's kind of like you could have used Firecrackers that has less cooldown. You could have used a lot of other skills that don't put you, you know, because when you use this in Wanted, since you glow, yeah, okay, I can see, oh, my pursuer is the guy right next to me, and now he's sure that you're his target because now you're glowing. So that's Templar Vision. Real quick, the perks. Okay, beginning perk of Sentry, increases the out-of-sight duration of your lock. This is certainly not a bad perk, so don't feel bad about choosing this perk. There's so much locking in on this game. There's so much time where people use the corners and line of sight to try to get out of your lock. This can be the difference between winning and losing a chase, both on offense and defense. Fast Getaway decreases the time needed to escape pursuers during a chase. This can be good in defensive builds in Manhunt or in Wanted, but I don't know. It feels kind of situational to me. If you have a build dedicated to defense, it can't hurt. I guess no perk can actually, well, okay, that's not true. Some perks can hurt, but this isn't one of them. I just don't think it's great. Overall cooldowns is overall awesome. It's always good to have a lower cooldown on your abilities because it means you can use your abilities more often, and your abilities really shape the game. So if you're using Smoke Bomb, you're using the hidden gun, you're using whatever, it's always better to have more lower cooldown time. Now, I would say that skills that have a default lower cooldown time, like Decoy, 50 seconds, you know, you use overall cooldowns on that, it brings the cooldown from 50 seconds to 40 seconds. Okay, you just lost 20% of the cooldown. But if you have a skill that is 90-second cooldown, right? You go from 90 seconds to 80 seconds, that was only like an 11% boost in the cooldown. So keep in mind that overall cooldowns is technically more powerful with skills that have a lower default cooldown. Now this is new, Kill Buffer, and it's very cool. Decreases your kill streak by 1 instead of resetting when you die. So let's say you have a kill streak of 4 and you're about to get the bonus for your 5th kill, and now you die. Right? Normally you'd respawn, now your kill streak is 0, but instead your kill streak is now 3. And this is huge because they've also added kill streaks in this game that have a lot higher bonus for achieving 7 kills and 9 kills. There's only one that's for 3 kills anymore. So kill buffer is a very strong consideration if you're planning to run, if you're either not if you're playing to die a lot. If you just die a lot, if you're just bad at this game, kill buffer is not going to help you, because odds are you didn't have a streak of more than 1 or maybe 2 to start with. But if you are pretty good and you really don't want an unlucky kill to ruin your streak and ruin all your score, kill buffer is a good consideration. Enhanced auto bash sucks. I'm not even going to talk about it. Hot pursuit. I feel like they combined 2 perks from Brotherhood into this. So basically, when you run after a target, okay, when you're near your target and you go to high profile, you run faster than them. And while you're running towards your target, your approach meter drains more slowly, so you keep your bonuses longer. So this is, you know, I'm not going to say it's great. It's probably good in Escort, okay? And there was kind of a bug. I'm not sure if it's still in the game, but there was, and it feels like a bug to me. In Escort and in Chest Capture, since you are basically targeting all the opponents at once because your meter, you don't lock in on them, if you're in high profile, you're essentially running faster all the time whenever you're within a certain range of your opponents, of your targets. And of course the approach meter, it helps you keep your score up. Let's see, resistance reduces the time you are stunned. I don't really like this skill that much. It can be good in Manhunt because you tend to get stunned a lot. This is something you're going to have to weigh. You have to see how much you get stunned, and a lot of times you get stunned, you don't even really want to get back up because you're not in really a position to do better. If you're surrounded by opponents, if you were the last guy to get stunned, they're just going to keep stunning you. So do you want to get up faster so they can get points faster? I don't know. Sometimes you just want to respawn. Blender, very powerful skill, but I will say this is, in addition to resistance, Blender and resistance are pretty much the only skills that can be, the only perks that can be bad for you. Okay, so Blender, when you blend into a crowd, a civilian morphs into you. That's great because it means every crowd can have a lookalike. It's always safe to blend into a crowd. There's never a crowd that's like, oh, there's none that look like me, I'm gonna stick out like a sore thumb. And this is great for deathmatch. But keep in mind, every time you walk into a crowd, okay, there's going to be an animation that plays where someone turns into you. And anyone who's scanning into a group to look for where you are and aren't sure, if you walk into a group and they see the animation, they know, they're like, oh, he just walked into that group. And guess what? He's not the guy that just started sparkling. He's not Mr. Sparkles. He's the other guy, and they know it's you. Resilience decreases the duration of abilities used against you. I haven't used this. I haven't bought it. It seems kind of pointless to me because I don't know how much it reduces it by, and I don't have enough points to buy it now. But when you think about it, like if you get smoke bombed, odds are you're gonna get stunned or killed. If you get firecracker, great, you can see a little bit sooner. You know, if you get throwing knives, like, but there's so many skills that don't have a real duration. Like if you get hit with the knives or the hidden gun or, you know, anything like that, it's pretty much gonna be, you know, you're already fucked. And a lot of the skills, you're fucked once they hit you, no matter what. And then easy chasebreaker automatically opens a recently closed chasebreaker when you approach. I don't know, this seems too situational to me. This skill could be good maybe if you use it with closure, because then you could lock out all the chasebreakers, but they would open for you. That would be a pretty good ability. You could basically control the chasebreakers on a map. You can have them locked down all the time, but they would never apply to you. But unless you're going to use those 2 skills together, I don't know. Maybe this is good in the team games if you're chasing people, but generally people are going to smoke bomb you. You could get some surprise kills every now and then, but those kills are not going to be worth a lot of points. If you're really chasing people through chase breakers at full high profile, you're going to be getting 100-point kills. So I don't know if this is worth investing in. This doesn't help you get that many more points, whereas something like this, kill buffer that retains your score, helps you get points. Something like Blender prevents you from dying, helps you get more points. Like enhanced auto bash doesn't help anything. And guys, I'm hitting my time limit, so I'm going to kill this once again, and we're going to go into the last one where I talk about the streaks and also about skill crafting.